Hey, yeah, the dream I had last night, I was flying around everywhere, and I could control it real strong or whatever. But I was wanting people to recognize that I was flying and everything, and I flew over to this one section that had like this huge, this real big, looked like an apartment building or something. It was kind of big though. It wasn't. It wasn't really. I don't know. It might have been an apartment building, kind of like a hood style, maybe a project, tall building, brick building, and so I was flying over there. Cause like I said, I was flying around everywhere. It was daytime, and I saw one of my homeboys, one of my good homeboys that I went to school with, played basketball with, Josh, and he was up there and some of his friends. So I was trying to fly up there I guess for them to be able to see that I could fly too, but I wasn't able to. There was some power lines in my way, and so I wasn't able to. There was some power lines in my way, so I wasn't able to fly up there as high. So, and I was like, dang, well, because I didn't want to, power lines are dangerous, so I didn't want to. I was like, dang, can I fly through that? You know what I'm saying? Or can I fly under that and go, you know what I mean? So I think I went under those and then tried to charge myself up, but I couldn't get high enough up there. And by the time I got up there, they had left. They had left from on top of the roof of the building. That's where they were when I seen them, Josh Garner. And so, yeah, they were at the top of the building, so on the roof. And so, but I could not fly all the way up there. So then the next scene, I'm still flying around, and I enter a church. And when I enter the door, it's like this long little alleyway, to get up to the front with the pew in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I keep flying, and but I'm not flying that high, but I'm charging myself up, and I'm thinking to myself, that I'm not about to. Well, I'm flying, but I'm like, damn, I'm thinking in my mind, like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to be flashy or flying for a purpose of self-gratification or self-promotion or self-gain, but more to, just let people know that I got a gift from God and that I'm, showing it off. And, but not on no selfish ambition thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I told myself to make for sure that I wasn't flying in here in the church like that, and I wasn't. So I flew to the front of the church, and I seen the pastor of the church, and it was a few other people up there in the front. It was a older white pastor, I think another guy, whatever. They was. So I flew up there and I was like, hey, I asked him, because, I'm like, okay, well, here's an elder, someone who has been in the church for a while, so, a teacher, whatever. So let me learn what they talking about, see what they talking about me flying like this. So I said, hey, what does this flying mean? And he was like, I think he said, I don't know, or he said something. And his answer, I was like, I already know that, because I was in my student mode. When I'm in class or my student mode, it's like, yeah, you can tell me things, but I'm also gonna be challenging what you're saying, and I'm not just gonna take what you're saying as fact. Like, you're gonna have to break it down to me and make me understand it to where I understand it as complete fact and truth. So I'm gonna challenge you. I'm not just gonna sit there. And so I told him, like, well, yeah, I know that. I still was flying around and stuff. And then he said something about electricity. He was like, well, something about it does or it doesn't produce electricity. And I was like, I know that. He was like, it's generation from electricity. And I was like, well, I know that. And then this other guys, older white guys. There's a lot of older elders in this part or in this upper, right here in this front of this church. Then it was a guy who was another older white guy, and he was like, yeah, man, and your bones, he was like, your exoskeleton, also, if you charge it up, if you put all your strength into that, it will generate electricity as well. And when he was doing it, I could see all the electricity when he charged himself up. I could see it running.